Hello, welcome to Your Affordable Home Show. I'm your host, Stephen Mitchell. We're talking about a really big issue this week. Yeah, there's a housing shortage in the United States. I said it. There is a housing shortage in the United States right now. So, the Manufactured Housing Institute actually came out with a number recently that there's basically an 18 million home shortage over the next 10 years in America. Just to give you a little perspective, our country produces 1.4 million new homes a year. To keep up with the demand and the need, we would need to crank out another 400,000 new homes a year. So it's a 400,000 home deficit. Okay? So yeah, that's pretty big. So why is this? Why is there such a huge housing shortage? So I thought we'd take a look at some key stats. So all indicators basically say this. They say, in summary, they basically say ownership cost is up. Ownership cost is up, and wages aren't keeping up with home ownership cost, and rent is replacing home ownership. That's pretty much what all the indicators are showing. So check this out. So last year, 2023, the median age of a first-time home buyer was 35 years old. Okay, 35 years old last year. Now, today, and this is November, I'm shooting this in November of 2024. Now the age is 38. Okay. Here's another interesting tidbit. So last year, the repeat home buyer, in other words, they bought once, they're buying another home, the repeat home buyer, last year, the average age was 58. Now it's age 61. So in both categories, there's a 3-year older difference. That tells me that people are taking longer to save what they need to save to go make that next purchase. That's what it tells me. That's the way that I read that stat. So you think about it like families that need a home, families that are looking to buy a home. That maybe that first time home buyer, they're probably looking at something that's, again, most families 1,400 square feet or less. And that would pretty much do the job for most families. Doesn't necessarily mean you're a first-time home buyer, but most families, that would do the trick, to have a 1,400 square foot home or less, probably a 3-bedroom in most situations. Check this out. Today, only one out of every 10 homes being built is in that size group, that 1,400 square foot home or less. 1 out of every 10. Check this out. So this is very interesting. Those smaller single family homes, 17% of those single family homes are being bought up by investors, not little mom and pop operations either. I'm talking about the big companies, the big investment firms. Big companies buying it up. 17% just gone. It's out of the market. They're buying them up. They're overpaying even. But 17%. Check this out. Here's another stat for you. This year, in 2024, new apartments cracked 500,000. 500,000 new apartments. To be exact, 518,000. 518,000 new apartments constructed this year. That's the highest number it's ever been in America. That's crazy. Check this stat out. 52% of people aged 18 to 29 are still living at home with mom or dad. I mean, that's incredible. That means they can't afford to get out on their own. So look at this. Look at this statistic. People aged 25 to 34 in 2023, as this last year, median income was around $54,000. Around $54,000. This year, $57,000. Okay. Now, Check this out. Compare this to the price of housing, okay? So in 2023, the median single family home cost was $389,000. $389,000. Today, 2024, $404,000. Again, median cost of a single family home, $404,000. That's nationwide. That's the median cost, okay? So compare that to what lenders say you need. Most lenders would agree that just to afford a $200,000 home, just to afford a $200,000 home comfortably, to afford it comfortably, most people, and everybody's situation is a little different, and everybody's got different debt to incomes and all that stuff. Without getting into nitty gritty, most lenders would agree that a person would need to earn somewhere in the neighborhood ballpark between 50 and 65K a year. 50 and 65K a year. And that's for a $200,000 home. And unless you're buying something that just is really bad shape, okay? And definitely not a new home. You're not touching it for $200,000. You're not touching it. Again, median single family home, and only 1 out of 10 being built this day and time falls into that category, is $404,000 nationwide in the USA. That's you're not going to touch it. So what does fit that price? There's really two options. There's two options. You either spend your money on ownership, and the only thing that can even get you there, ownership, is going to be manufactured housing. It's going to be manufactured housing. You can do that. You can get a 1,400 square foot home and accommodate your family, accommodate what you need to provide a roof over your head and bedrooms, and everybody's got their space. You can do that in $200,000 price range. You can do that. And again, looking at what most people that would be first-time home buyers, 24 to 34-year-old age group, are making $57,000 a year. Again, lenders say you need somewhere between $50,000 and $65,000 to comfortably afford $200,000 on a home price. So manufactured housing, you can do that. It'll be that, or it might be a lot cheaper than that. It just depends on what you buy. That would be kind of, I'd say, on the higher end of things. There's some other custom stuff, but I'm saying most cases, manufactured housing, $200,000 or less, you all day, every day. Okay, all day, every day, and you could even throw some land in there if you need land. So you can get the job done, is what I'm saying. Or the alternative, again, why are all these apartments being built? 518,000 apartments constructed this year alone. If you look at the price breakdown, if you're paying paying $2,000 a month on a mortgage versus, and that's a nice home in manufactured housing space, but you're paying that versus you can be throwing your money away on a really nice place that you're renting, like a nice 3-bedroom or something. The money comparatively, if it's me, I'm going to go with equity. I would rather put my money in equity. Now, everybody's got different situation in life. Sometimes just, credit and things like that, just what you're going through, sometimes what you can get approved for stuff. I know sometimes apartments can be a little bit more lenient on certain things, so I get that. Sometimes job history, it all plays a factor. I get it. But if you're capable and you're in a position, if it's comparative money, I'd rather put my money in equity. Invest in equity in a home that I own, not give it to some investor and really put it in their pocket. So that's the difference. It's do you want equity or do you want to give it to the investor? Because the investor's sure going to take it and reinvest it. That's for sure. And I don't have no beef with that. But I mean, I'm just saying that's the reality, and it's your money, your hard-earned dollar. And if you're in a position where you can buy, and obviously the market for new homes, even existing homes. Median price $404,000. That's not good news for people looking to buy a home, especially with wages and everything else. So it just manufactured housing. I believe it's the future. It is the future, and I hope you will think about it. If you're thinking about it, I would advise you. You're new to manufactured housing. You never considered it. I can tell you that in almost every state, sometimes in local areas, there's an association or a manufactured housing institute. There's somebody that you could call. If you need to know more, I would advise you just call, pick their brain. They'll talk to you. Call, get some information. It's not. It doesn't cost you nothing for information. Maybe a little time, but if you want to own a home and you know that you're being priced out on new homes or what's existing out there, which pretty much the case, manufactured housing, it's an option. It is an option. And like we say around here, home ownership empowers the American dream. I hope that you got some real value out of this one today. If you think somebody else will, I'll just say like, share, subscribe wherever you're watching this. Appreciate you. And until the next time, peace.